Hi everyone, welcome back to Ann Design Craft channel. Today, we're going to crochet another super cute no-sew dog, a Schnauzer. We're using the same base pattern as the previous puppy, just adding a few small details like the eyebrows, beard, and tail to bring out that classic Schnauzer look. Just like the last one, it's a low-sew project, using the yarn under X-stitch technique to keep everything neat and aligned. Before we start, here are the tools and materials you'll need for this project. I'm using 4-ply cotton yarn and a 3mm crochet hook. You'll also need a yarn needle, scissors, and something to help with stuffing. For the face, prepare one pair of 5mm round eye beads and a 3mm nose bead. So grab your yarn and hook. Let's start by crocheting the head part. Make a knot in the magic ring and do 8 single crochet on it. The pattern for the head is the same as the base puppy. You'll just need to switch yarn colors at certain rounds to add the Schnauzer's face and markings. I'll guide you through when and where to change colors as we go. In this project, to keep everything looking neat and facing the right direction, we'll be using the yarn under technique, also known as the X-stitch. It helps prevent slanting stitches, which is especially important for keeping the head and limbs aligned properly. If you're new to this technique or want a closer look, feel free to check out my previous video where I explain how to avoid slanting in detail. After making 8 single crochets into the magic ring, pull the yarn tail tight to close the center. Then go straight into round 1. There's no need to make a slip stitch or chain at the beginning or end of each round. But if you prefer to add a slip stitch and chain for each round, that's totally fine too. Just go with what you're most comfortable with. So in round 1, continue with white yarn and make the first increase. If you want to, you can use a stitch marker to help keep track of your rounds. Then switch to gray yarn and work an increase in each of the next 3 stitches. To switch yarn colors, insert your hook from the top, passing through the front loop and front post of the stitch. Yarn over and pull through, then simply pick up the new yarn color and continue crocheting with it. This helps keep the color change clean and neat. Next, switch back to white yarn and work 1 increase. Then switch to gray yarn again and make 3 more increases. By the end of round 1, you should have 16 stitches in total. To start the next round, switch back to white yarn. In round 2, start with an increase. followed by 1 single crochet, then switch to gray yarn, and work 1 increase, followed by 1 single crochet, next we'll work into the back loop only. Make 1 increase in the back loop. We're leaving the front loop unworked so we can crochet the ear later on. And remember to place a stitch marker on the front loops. Now continue in both loops. Work 1 single crochet, 1 increase, and 1 single crochet. Switch back to white yarn, and work 1 increase, and 1 single crochet. Now switch to gray yarn again and do 1 increase, one single crochet, then just like before, make 1 increase in the back loop only, leaving the front loop for the other ear. Finally, continue in both loops with 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet. 1 increase, by the end of round 2, you should have a total of 24 stitches. Switch back to white yarn to get ready for the next round. In round 3, follow the written pattern. Start with 3 single crochets using white yarn, then switch to gray yarn and work 9 single crochets. Follow the written pattern to complete the round. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. In round 4, we'll be crocheting the ears. Switch to white yarn Start with 3 single crochets using white yarn. Then switch to gray yarn and work 4 single crochets. Now, let's crochet the first ear. Chain 2, then slip stitch into the front loop from round 2 where we placed the stitch marker. Turn your piece and chain 2 again. Insert your hook into the chain space and work 1 double crochet. Chain 2 once more. Then slip stitch into the top of that double crochet to create a pointed edge. Make 1 more double crochet into the same chain space and finish with 1 single crochet. That completes the first ear. Now continue with 5 single crochets across the round. Switch to white yarn and work 3 more single crochets. Then switch back to gray yarn and repeat the same steps to make the second ear. Work 4 single crochets. Then follow the same ear pattern. Chain 2, slip stitch into the front loop from round 2, turn, chain 2, double crochet, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of the double crochet, another double crochet, and finish with 1 single crochet. Continue with 5 more single crochets. And now both ears of little Schnauzer are complete. And switch back to white yarn to get ready for the next round. In round 5, start with 3 single crochets using white yarn. Then switch to gray yarn and work 2 single crochets. One increase, and 5 more single crochets. Be careful not to miss the stitch near the ear, it's easy to overlook. Next, make 1 more increase. Then switch back to white yarn and work 3 single crochets. Switch to gray yarn again and repeat 2 single crochets. One increase, 5 single crochets. And again, watch out for the stitch beside the ear. It tends to hide. And one more increase. Finally, switch back to white yarn to get ready for the next round. In round 6 and 7, follow the written pattern to complete the round. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 28 stitches. In round 8, start by switching to white yarn and working 3 single crochets. Then switch to grey yarn and work 6 single crochets. Followed by 4 increases. Next, switch back to white yarn and work 1 single crochet. Then make 4 half double crochet puff stitches. To do this, yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop 4 times. Then yarn over and pull through all loops on the hook. After finishing puff stitches, make 1 chain to secure them in place. After that, work 1 single crochet, and make another set of 4 half double crochet puff stitches. This creates the Schnauzer's nose detail. Then work 1 more single crochet, switch to grey yarn, and continue with 4 increases. Followed by 6 single crochets. By the end of round 8, you should have a total of 36 stitches. Now switch back to white yarn and get ready for the next round. Those puff stitches give it such a cute and fluffy look. In round 9, start with 3 single crochets using white yarn. Then switch to grey yarn and work 12 single crochets. Next, switch back to white yarn and work 3 single crochets, followed by 4 half double crochet puff stitches. The chain we made earlier to secure puff stitch is not counted in the total stitch count. So when you're crocheting this round, be sure to skip over those chains and only work into the actual stitches. Then make 2 single crochets, skip over these chains and only work into the actual stitches. And another 4 half double crochet puff stitches. This completes the Schnauzer's face detail. Continue with 3 more single crochets, then switch to gray yarn and work 11 single crochets to finish the round. You should have a total of 36 stitches by the end of round 9. Now switch back to white yarn and get ready for the next round. In round 10, work 1 single crochet followed by 1 invisible decrease. To do the invisible decrease, insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches, yarn under, and pull through both loops, then yarn under again, and complete the stitch as usual. Repeat this sequence 12 times around. Skip over these chains and only work into the actual stitches. By the end of the round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. Next, you can place the eye beads and nose bead between round 7 and 8. Place the nose bead right in the center between the two puff stitches. That forms the puppy's nose. Then place the eye beads on both sides, close to the puff stitches. To secure the tiny eye beads, I use a lighter to gently melt the back of the plastic pin and flatten it down. This helps lock the eyes in place so they won't come loose. Just be careful and do this step slowly. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area and keep safety in mind. In round 11, make 12 invisible decreases all the way around. The head part is now complete and it's looking super cute. Now, let's continue and start working on the body. In round 12, we'll be working in the front loops only. Start with 2 increases. Followed by 1 single crochet. Repeat this sequence 4 times. By the end of the round, you should have a total of 20 stitches. Now you can go ahead and fill the head with polyester fiber. Make sure to stuff it evenly and firmly, but not too tight. Just enough to keep the shape nice and round. In round 13, start by working 3 increases. Then continue with 16 single crochets. In the last stitch, make 1 more increase. By the end of this round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. In round 14, start with 1 single crochet, followed by 1 increase. Repeat this sequence 3 times. That gives you the first shaping. Then work 4 single crochets. Now we're going to create the first hole for the arm. Chain 3. Skip the next 3 stitches and make a single crochet into the 4th stitch. Make sure this stitch lines up at the center of the body and faces the same direction as the face. Next, chain 3 again, skip 3 stitches, and continue with 5 single crochets. To finish the round, work 1 single crochet followed by 1 increase. You should now have a total of 28 stitches, and the 2 chain spaces will be used to crochet the hands later. The hole here is where we'll crochet and attach the hand later on. In round 15, switch to gray yarn and start with 1 increase, followed by 3 single crochets. Repeat this sequence once more. Then work 3 more single crochets. Next, switch to white yarn and work 11 single crochets. When you reach the chain spaces, insert your hook into the back loops only. We'll leave the front loops unworked because we'll use them later to crochet the hands directly onto the body. Then switch back to gray yarn and finish the round with 6 single crochets. In rounds 16 and 17, make single crochet all the way around. But remember to switch the yarn color according to the written pattern. In round 18, start with 14 single crochets using gray yarn. Then switch to white yarn and make 5 half double crochet puff stitches. This will form the first back leg. Continue with 8 single crochets. Then make another 5 puff stitches to create the second back leg. Followed by 1 more single crochet. Now switch back to gray yarn and finish the round with 5 single crochets. by the end of round 18, you should have a total of 30 stitches. The two sets of puff stitches form the puppy's back legs, giving it that cute sitting pose. In round 19, we'll start shaping the body by decreasing. Begin with 4 invisible decreases. Then work 4 single crochets. Switch to white yarn and work another 4 single crochets. When you reach the puff stitch area, remember to skip the chain that was used to secure the puff stitch. It doesn't count as a stitch, so crochet into the next actual stitch instead. Next, work 3 invisible decreases. Then 5 single crochets. Skip over these chains and only work into the actual stitches. Switch back to gray yarn, work 1 single crochet and finish the round with 1 decrease. By the end of round 19, you should have a total of 22 stitches. Now switch back to white yarn and get ready for the next round. For the last 2 rounds, just follow the written pattern to complete the body, and don't forget to fill in the polyester fiber before the opening gets too small. It's easier to shape it nicely while there's still space to stuff. The body's almost done. Great job so far. Now let's move on and start working on the front legs. Insert your hook into this stitch. Then secure the yarn with a knot. Next, work single crochets all the way around the edge. But make sure to add 1 extra stitch on the side loop here. That will give you 7 single crochets in total for the round. Continue working 1 single crochet in each stitch for a total of 5 rounds to form the front leg. Now work the other front leg using the exact same steps. Insert your hook into this stitch, then secure the yarn with a knot. Next, work single crochets all the way around the edge. To shape it nicely, add one extra stitch on the side loop. This will give you 7 single crochets in the round. Continue working one single crochet in each stitch for a total of 5 rounds to form the front leg. Now both front legs are done. Lightly fill them with a bit of polyester fiber, just enough to give them some shape. Then fasten off and close the opening. Use the leftover yarn tail to sew the leg securely to the body so it stays in place and looks neat from every angle. Now let's move on to the tail. Now insert your hook between rounds 17 and 18 on the back side of the body. Chain 4, skip the first chain and then work 3 single crochets back along the chain. Cut the yarn and fasten off securely. Next, you can fasten off and use a needle to gently sew the opening closed at the bottom of the body. Next, let's crochet the puppy's tongue. Insert your hook into the stitch right between the 2 puff stitches. Then secure the yarn with a knot. Make 4 chains. Then cut the yarn. Be sure to leave a little tail for sewing. This will create a cute little tongue peeking out from the mouth area. Lastly, choose your favorite color for the puppy's collar. Make 16 chains, then cut the yarn and sew it neatly around the neck. It's a small detail, but it really adds a cute finishing touch to your puppy. And that's the end of today's tutorial. Your adorable Schnauzer is complete. I hope you enjoyed crocheting along with me. If you like this project, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe so you won't miss the next cute puppy crochet coming up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crocheting!